68% of all data breaches involve a human element. Modern cybercriminals know that trying to brute force a corporate firewall is difficult and time-consuming. Instead, they target you. They catch you when you're holding a baby, scrolling through your inbox on a crowded train, or rushing to clear notifications before a morning reading. To protect yourself, you need to understand the exact sequence attackers use to exploit that distraction. That sequence breaks down into 3 distinct phases: the lure, the hook, and the catch. Over the next 6 minutes, we are going to walk through each of these phases. By the end, you'll transition from being a passive target to an active auditor of your own digital life, deploying 2 specific technical defenses that neutralize these threats before they even execute. Cybersecurity relies on acknowledging human fallibility and choosing to trust rigid, professional tools over personal intuition. Step 1 is the lure. This is the psychological trigger. An attacker crafts a message specifically designed to bypass your logical filters by generating a sense of urgency, invoking authority, or simply sparking your curiosity. Attackers scrape LinkedIn and corporate websites to build precision attacks. They figure out who your CEO is, and they send an email that appears to come directly from them, asking for a quick invoice payment. The display name matches perfectly, but if you actually look at the underlying address, it belongs to an unrelated external domain. They also exploit routine. You might receive a notification that looks exactly like a Google Docs or Microsoft OneDrive alert, stating that a colleague has shared an important file with you. This brings us to your first rule of verification. If an email triggers an emotional response, whether that is panic over a frozen account, eagerness to see a shared file, or a rush to please a boss, stop. Verify the request through a secondary, independent channel, like a direct phone call or a fresh internal chat message. The lure is highly dangerous because it relies entirely on your own speed and innate desire to be helpful. If the attacker can rush you, the lure succeeds. If you act on the lure, you encounter the hook. This is the malicious link or attachment that bridges the gap between the deceptive email and the fraudulent website built to steal your data. Your primary physical defense here is the hover technique. Before you click any link, rest your cursor over it. Your browser or email client will display the actual destination URL at the bottom of your screen. Look at this URL graphic. To understand where a link is actually taking you, you need to read the domain structure correctly. The true destination is always the text string immediately preceding the first single /. In this example, even though google.com is in the address, the true top-level domain is .cz. Attackers also use visual deception by adding hyphens or lookalike characters. They register domains like google-search.com. Legitimate brands rarely use hyphens in their primary login domains. Exercise extreme caution with shortened links like bit.ly or domains that display as raw numeric IP addresses. Because these formats mask the true owner of the destination, you have no way to verify them visually. The hook only catches you if you fail to inspect the address bar before entering your data. It requires a blind click. Once you land on the page, we reach the catch. In 2026, the mechanics of the catch have evolved. Attackers now use proxy servers to pull the actual live login pages of services like Microsoft 365 and serve them to you in real time. This diagram illustrates an adversary-in-the-middle attack. When you type your password on one of these proxy sites, the attacker's server intercepts it, forwards it to Microsoft, receives the multi-factor authentication challenge, and passes that prompt back to you. When you approve the MFA prompt, Microsoft issues a valid session token, a cookie that proves you are logged in. The attacker captures this token, clones it to their own machine, and seamlessly redirects you to your real inbox. Because the proxy instantly relays your inputs, standard multi-factor authentication methods like SMS codes, one-time passwords, or push notifications provide zero protection against this attack. The entire process is visually invisible to the user. You see the correct branding and receive your standard phone prompt. Because you cannot rely on your eyes, you have to rely on a technical defense that an attacker cannot proxy. That technical defense starts with a password manager. These tools are domain sensitive, meaning they verify the identity of a website before you ever interact with it. A password manager links your credentials to a specific registered URL. If you land on a convincing lookalike page, the software will refuse to autofill your data. It acts as a strict passive auditor that never gets distracted. The second layer is phishing-resistant MFA, specifically FIDO2 hardware security keys or device-based passkeys. These rely on cryptographic domain binding. When you register a hardware key with a site, it creates a unique cryptographic pair bound exactly to that domain. If an attacker's proxy asks for authentication from a different URL, the key silently fails to unlock. This is why security professionals urge you to abandon SMS-based codes. Between adversary-in-the-middle proxies and SIM swapping, where an attacker convinces your phone carrier to transfer your number to their device, text messages are a highly vulnerable security layer. By pairing a password manager with hardware-based or app-based authentication, you remove your own ability to make a fatal mistake. These two tools alone stop 90. Step 1. Audit suspicious emails via a secondary channel. Step 2. Verify the URL by hovering before you click. Step 3. Enable a password manager to autofill securely. Step 4. Upgrade from SMS to app-based or hardware-based MFA. Do not wait for a breach to test your setup. Pick your most critical account, your primary email or your banking portal, and upgrade your MFA settings right now. Cyber defense requires consistent vigilance. Build the habit of verifying every request and trusting specialized tools to manage the heavy lifting of security.